Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 250 of the Membership Guys podcast. I'm your host Mike Morrison, one half of the Membership Guys, and you are listening to the number one show for proven advice on growing a successful membership business. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I truly appreciate each and every person who listens to the show. If you're new to the podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your podcast app to ensure you do not miss a single weekly dose of membership advice. And if you've already subscribed and you've been listening for a while, you know I love you, you know I appreciate you. Why not go ahead and leave a nice shiny 5-star review of the show if you feel like it's something that has helped you, if you feel like the advice has been useful, or if you just enjoy listening to my funny accent every week, then I would love it if you could take a quick minute or two to leave a nice review in your podcast app. I would so appreciate that. Today we're talking all about content marketing, how to use content marketing to promote your membership. Now, we're big advocates of using content marketing as a strategy for promoting and growing your membership. It's one of the most effective ways of demonstrating your expertise, establishing a connection with your audience, and building the trust that is essential to attracting members who will stick around long term. Not to mention the fact that free content like blogs, podcasts, and video will bring in traffic from search engines, from iTunes, from YouTube. It'll help you to reach audiences you otherwise wouldn't be able to, and it'll help you generate leads and directly drive sales, especially when you're creating content that addresses the most common questions, problems, and challenges that your audience are facing. If you can prove to people that you can solve their small problems, they're going to trust you to solve their larger problems. So for the majority of membership owners, consistently putting out quality free content is a must. But you can take it even further and make that free content even more effective as a marketing tool. So today, I'm going to share 6 ways that you can do that you can elevate and amplify your content marketing strategy. So the first way of doing it is to ensure that your free content and your paid content are fully aligned. Quite often we see people treating their free content that goes out on their blog or their podcast as a totally separate thing to their membership. There's no cohesion, there's no correlation. You should be looking for ways that you can connect the dots between your free content, anything you put out for free, and the content that is inside your membership. Every piece of free content, every blog, every podcast episode, every YouTube video should aim to connect and correlate to a piece of content from your membership, a course or a workshop, a resource, a challenge, a bootcamp, whatever it is, you want to connect those dots. Because when you do that, you create a situation where the natural next step for someone who is reading your blog, they have an interest in the topic of your blog, your podcast, or whatever, the natural next step for them when they're done reading your article will be for them to join your membership in order to dig deeper into the topic or get more practical advice. You can get your lead magnet in the mix too, so you almost create this daisy chain where all roads lead to your membership. Someone reads a blog article that covers a particular specific area of a topic. They're then prompted to sign up to your email list, to download some sort of resource, a checklist or a how-to guide that again is related to the topic of the article they just read. Then when they're on the email list, the emails they get again are connected to that topic. And then you pitch them the membership, focusing on the aspects of what's in your membership that are relevant to the subject that your blog post was about, the subject that your lead magnet was about, and so on. So you're connecting the dots between your free stuff to your lead magnet to your email series to the particular component of your membership that you know that this person needs help with and is going to be most interested in. Now, it's not always going to be possible to do that. Sometimes you'll want to put out a piece of free content where there's no direct link to a correlating piece of content, a course or a workshop or what have you. But this should be your central aim. Your central strategy with your free content should be to ensure it's fully aligned. So you look at what content you have in your membership, what courses, what training, what workshops, and then you work backwards from there and you start breaking the topic down and you look for subjects that can form the basis for your free content. So we have a course inside Membership Academy, which is all about content marketing. And we also have a course that is about your membership content strategy. So when you go to the show notes page, to the blog article that goes with this podcast episode, you can be sure that you'll see some little promotions, some little links and connections to that content from inside the membership. So you want to elevate your content marketing strategy, find ways to align the free and the paid content. Treat it as part of a whole rather than two separate components that never get bridged. All roads should lead from your free content to your membership. Second way of elevating your content marketing strategy is to repurpose part of your paid content into free content. So this could be a case of taking one or two lessons from one of the courses inside your membership. If you have a course that's got 20 to 30 lessons, it's not going to diminish the value of that course if you take a handful of those lessons and you put them out there for free. So you either, maybe you strip the audio and you release them as podcast episodes. That's something that we've done with the membership guys. We've probably got 10 to 12 episodes within the Membership Guys archives that are actually audios taken from lessons that are inside courses inside Membership Academy. And because you're not giving away the whole deal, it's not going to be something that ruffles the feathers for your members, but it gives non-members a taste of what's on offer. And again, it gives you the organic opportunity to promote that piece of content. So you can outright say, this week's podcast, this week's video, this week's blog post, it could be a transcription that you turn into a blog post, is taken from this course, which all members of my awesome membership get access to. If you want to learn more about this topic, head on over to mywebsite.com. So you can do this with courses. You can do this taking little snippets of webinars or workshops or something like that. If you do live Q&As with your members, maybe do live Q&A calls where your members can turn up, ask you a question and get your feedback. You could just take a single question from that recording and again release that as free content. During a Q&A call, you could get 10, 20, 30 different questions. So again, you're not diminishing the value. You're not really taking anything away from your members. If you take just one or two of those questions in isolation and you repurpose those into free content. Again, as a podcast, just taking the audio, transcribing it into a blog and fleshing it out a bit more, or even just using it as a social post. They don't have to be big bits of content that go on your website. You can put it out there, social media content. And if you have downloadable resources, worksheets, checklists, and so on, again, you can do something similar. But with those, maybe you use those as lead magnets to entice people to sign up to your email list. Repurposing your paid content from your membership into free content, again, is such a great way of connecting the dots between free and paid, because you are literally blurring the lines between them. And you're whetting people's appetite. You're going to have them wanting more. You're giving them a little slice of the pie, and then you're saying, you know what, if you want a bit more pie, it's just over here. You just need to come along and pay. Now, at Retain Live 2019, which was a conference we ran last year, one of our most popular talks was from Amy Woods from Content 10X. And she talked about a whole bunch of different ways that you can repurpose membership content into other forms. And as I said, that was one of the most popular talks. It was one of the most practical sessions from the whole 2-day conference. And again, if you are an Academy member, you can watch the recording of that session inside the Academy, where you'll find all the sessions from Retain Live 2019. Definitely worth watching, because repurposing your paid content into free, again, fantastic way of making your content marketing strategy work harder for you as a promotional tool for your membership. Third thing that you can do is find ways to showcase your members as part of your free content. Your existing member base is a never-ending resource of marketing assets. Find ways to leverage your best members, your most successful members. You could create entire pieces of content around them. You could feature them as interview guests on your podcast or on your video stream or even a written interview. You can create case studies where you're actually diving deep into their journey, where they were, where they are now, and of course the role that you played along the way. So you can create entire pieces of content around your best members, or find other ways of featuring them in a smaller capacity in other bits of content. So if you're looking to use examples within your blogs or your podcasts, rather than looking for the biggest names or the most successful people in a field, look to your member base. Look for ways in which you can use those as examples of the sort of things you're talking about in your blog post or your podcast. Reach out to them, ask them for a quote, ask them for a soundbite or a tip that you can include in your article. Maybe even do a little roundup. The 15 of our members give their top tips about whatever. 10 of our members talk about the one thing they wish that they knew before they started whatever. So there's all sorts of ways in which you can feature your members as part of your free content. So you're telling their story, you're sharing their results, you're shining the spotlight on them. This is incredible social proof, because it's one thing you constantly being the face of your membership, constantly talking about how great it is, constantly being the only voice that is associated with your membership. But it's another thing entirely to actually start showing the faces of your member base, of the community. You know, your community is such a powerful aspect of your membership. So why not shine a spotlight on those people? It's going to inspire others. People in your audience will connect with it. They may connect with, someone from your community on a deeper level than they do with you because of their story, because of similarities and all that sort of stuff. And at the same time, doing this also demonstrates the caliber of members that your community has, as well as the type of results you're helping people to get, the type of problems that you're solving, and all that good stuff. Now, an example of this approach is our sister podcast, Behind the Membership, which is hosted by the other half of the Membership Guys, Callie Willows, the one and only Callie Willows. And this is a seasonal interview show where we have in-depth conversations with regular membership owners. Those guys just so happen to all be part of the Membership Academy community. Now, it's not the official podcast of Membership Academy. The angle of it isn't to be something that just showcases Academy members, but that is what it does, right? The hook is these are just real people with real memberships, real stories, but every single person who's on there is from the Academy. So you get all of that good stuff that comes from showcasing members in your free content. And of course, in the duration of those conversations, they're going to bring up the Academy. They're going to mention your membership. They're going to talk about the part that your membership and the part that you have played in their journey. And again, it's a great, great way of promoting your membership without you having to constantly name drop it and constantly talk about it. So find ways to showcase your members as part of your free content. Telling your members' story, so powerful. Storytelling is so important in today's marketing landscape. My fourth tip for making your content marketing strategy a little bit more effective is to use member questions as the inspiration, as the basis for creating free content. So, the best free content is content that answers questions, addresses problems, addresses challenges, and so on. And so you should look towards your member base for those ideas, for that inspiration, and use the fact that a piece of content is being derived from your community. Use that as a framing device. So you use your membership as a framing device. Now, by that, I mean, you could start your blog post, your podcast saying, this is a question that recently came up inside our community over at membershipacademy.com. And Bob was having a real problem with this situation. He wanted to know how to solve this. So this is my advice if you're facing that situation. And then you go into your podcast episode. You could wrap that kind of top and tail, that premise, that framing device around pretty much any piece of content you're likely to be putting out to give it context, to essentially tie the reason why you're creating this content to your membership, to your community. Again, not only does that give you that almost stealthy way of name dropping your community, of promoting it without taking anything away from the actual value you're providing in your free content, but it also adds a more human element to your content. People will be able to associate with Bob, with the person who had the problem, with the person who had the question. They're going to think, yeah, I had that question too, actually. And already they start to kind of subconsciously feel like they're part of the collective. Maybe, you'll always get people who are afraid or hesitant to ask a question because they think it's a dumb question. So if they read your blog, they watch your video, they listen to your podcast, and you're actually saying to them, one of our members asked that question, a real person asked this question, and here's my expert advice, then again, that kind of overcomes that a little bit. And as well as subtly reminding people that you have a membership, it also makes them aware that they can get answers to these kind of questions inside your community. So you're reminding people, not only do you have fantastic content and this, that, and the other, but also your membership is a resource for any of those little burning questions, those niggling problems that come up. And B, you're also giving people a glimpse at the type of discussions that are happening behind closed doors, the sort of level your community is operating at, the sort of problems that are being solved, and also the fact that you're present, that you're paying attention to it, because not every figurehead in every membership, not every membership founder is actually present, is in the community, answering these questions, solving these things. So use your membership as a framing device. Utilize member questions and challenges and issues as the premise for your free content. And again, this just takes things up to a different level just by creating that little connection, connecting the dots between your free and your paid. Strategy number 5 is an interesting one. It's not something that's going to work for everybody, but it's something that if you have the right kind of content, the right kind of audience, can work like gangbusters. And that is to put your free content inside your membership after a set period of time. So you release something for free, you make it available for free for a week or two or even less. And then once that window closes, that free content, the content that was free, is then only available inside your paid membership. Now, that's only going to work with certain types of content. A regular blog post that's 1,000 words, 2,000 words, or even less isn't going to really suit this sort of approach. But if you're putting out, really lengthy, in-depth, really meaty interviews or tutorials or things like that, the sort of stuff that you can find examples of people paying for, then this can work like gangbusters. It's almost like a trial, but you focus on just one specific piece of content at a time. This is something Creative Live and the guys at Mixergy, something that they do. They'll publish a new workshop or a new interview. They'll make it available for a limited window of time. Once that window is closed, that piece of content goes into the archive where you have to pay for access, and a new free piece of content comes out and is available for a limited window and what have you. So if someone didn't want to ever pay you, then they can consume all the new content you put out, but they're going to have to remember to jump on that content during the limited time it's available. And if they miss it, well, then they're going to have to pay. And also, they're not going to have access to the full archive. And so you're really kind of making people aware of the divide between free and paid and the value of being a paid member. Again, it's not something that's going to work with every type of free content that's going out, but certainly if you're putting out the sort of thing for free that people could be paying for, or maybe you're not currently doing any sort of free content marketing, but you are on a weekly basis adding, 30-minute tutorial or little workshops into your membership, then this could be an alternative to providing a trial. Every new piece of content you add to your membership, you make available for 3 or 4 days for free. And then after that, you've got to join to access it, to get the replay or this, that, and the other. So again, it's a very particular content strategy, but with the right type of content, the right type of market, and the right approach, it can work very, very well. Again, as I said, this is kind of about really emphasizing the difference between the experience as a member versus the experience as a non-member. And another way of doing that, and this is tip number 6, is to offer bonus content for your free articles, your free podcasts, and so on. So this is bonus content that is only available to your members. So you publish your blog post, you publish your podcast, your video to the public as usual, but then you offer a little something extra just for your members for that piece of content. Kind of think of it like the bonus features on a DVD or a Blu-ray. I like to think back to when Lord of the Rings first came out. Yes, I'm a geek. This is well known. I've loved the Lord of the Rings movies, and so I bought the DVDs of those movies when they first came out. But then they released the extended versions. They had about 2,000 hours of bonus footage and bonus material, special extended versions of the movies and so on. And so even though I already owned the DVDs that just had the movies on, I splashed the cash again to get the extended special editions in the fancy boxes because of the bonuses. So it's a similar kind of approach. You're giving people the free stuff, you're giving people the value within the blog post, the podcast, and the videos, and, on its own, that is great, just like the Lord of the Rings movie was great on its own. So you're taking that similar approach of using the bonuses, using the extra, even though the real meat, the real core of that content is available to everyone. It's only the real special people who get those little extra goodies. So that could be an extended version of your podcast or your video. If you do interviews, for example, in your free content, maybe after you finish your core questions that will make up the main part of the interview that goes out to people, maybe you have a special bonus round. Maybe it's a quick fire round where you ask certain extra questions, and that part of the interview is only ever available to your members. It's in the member edition of that podcast or that video. It could even be worksheets or downloads that are specific to what your free content is about. So maybe you do tech tutorials. Maybe you put little how-tos for coding or graphic design or craft and art. You could, again, you make the fantastically valuable and useful main piece of content free, but then the source files for the code that you're showing people how to write in your tutorial, or maybe the design files or the stock photo that you use, or any other resources that are utilized during your tutorial, they're available to download only to your members. Maybe it's just something as simple as a little checklist that people can print off for actually working through the steps that you cover in your tutorial, in your podcast, in the advice you're giving in your free content or whatever. It doesn't have to be a hugely valuable extra. I mean, I talk about the Lord of the Rings extras. I didn't watch most of them. I just like to know that there was a version that was better than the standard one. All right, so I watched some of them and they were cool, but if they'd actually released a DVD or a package with just those bonuses, I wouldn't have bothered paying for them. Right? I just wanted the full version, the complete version. So people aren't necessarily going to join just because of what those bonuses are, or just on the strength of the bonus on a particular episode. But what it'll do is it'll make people aware, first of all, that you have a membership. It makes them aware of the divide between the free and the paid experience that we talked about before. You're showing people essentially there's a class system within my audience. Now that's maybe a controversial way of putting it, but there is. There are tiers to the way in which you engage with me, and you get different levels of stuff based on what tier you are. If you don't want to pay me, that's fine. You're still going to get this incredible free content. But if you're a paying member, you get that plus some extra stuff, plus the main things inside the membership. Great example of this would be our friend Scott Devine from Scott's Bass Lessons, who we worked with for a long time. We talk about a lot, very successful membership. Now, he put out a podcast featuring interviews with prominent bass guitar players. Now, for most of those interviews, he actually travels around the world and conducts those interviews in person. And he takes his film crew with him. So they actually record a video of that whole interview. But the free content that goes out is an audio only podcast. He saves the video for members. Now it's the same interview. It's the same interview. They're not getting anything extra other than the fact that they can see on their screen this conversation happening rather than just listening to it. So that's the little bonus just for members that is connected towards Scott's free podcast. You get the video recording of that interview. On its own, no one's going to join just for that. But as we said, they see that there is something that is only available to members. It makes them aware you've got a membership. It reminds them of the divide between being a free audience member and a paying subscriber. And it'll send those people down a rabbit hole looking for what other perks and benefits and advantages they would get if they were to join your membership. So those are 6 ways, not just to use content marketing to promote your membership, but to elevate your content marketing strategy to make it more effective as a marketing tool. First and foremost, ensure that your content, free and paid, is totally aligned. Don't treat your membership product and your content you create as separate things. Think about the bigger picture and constantly look for ways of connecting the dots between free and paid. One way, tip number 2, is repurposing your paid content into free. Lots of opportunities for membership owners to do that. If you want specific examples and ideas, then check out the session from Amy Woods from Retain Live 2019, which is inside Membership Academy right now. Third, find opportunities to showcase your members as part of your free content. Incredible social proof, but also it's going to give you great organic ways of raising awareness of your membership, promoting your membership, and so on by leveraging your best members and telling their stories. Fourth, utilize your membership as a framing device. Use member questions to create your free content as the inspiration for the basis for your free content. Fifth, a bit of a quirky one, bit of an unusual one, not going to work for everyone, but see whether the strategy of releasing your content free for a limited window and then putting it into your membership, see whether that could actually work for you. Creative Live and Mixergy, great examples of that. And then finally, look for ways in which you can offer bonus content for the free stuff you put out. A little member-only bonus for each of your blog articles, each of your podcasts, each of your videos. So these 6 different ideas, strategies, tactics, what have you, whether you use one, whether you try all, they're really going to help you to squeeze even more out of your content marketing strategy. As we said at the beginning, we're such big advocates of using content marketing as the core way in which you promote and grow your membership. And the stuff we talk about today will help improve the results that you see from your content marketing efforts. So the different tips and tactics we've covered will help you to get more members for your membership. And speaking of getting more members, this week we have something very exciting coming that'll help you to do that and then some. This Friday, we're going to be releasing a brand new course on how to get more members using something that we call the Membership Marketing Flywheel. So this brand new course that's being added to the Academy is going to teach you, first of all, what the Membership Marketing Flywheel is, but more importantly, how to use it as a framework for increasing sales and for taking your overall marketing strategy to another level. Seriously, this framework is tried and tested, and I firmly believe it's your new secret weapon for exponential growth in your membership. It's a big, big claim, but trust me, when you see this course, it's going to back it up. So within this course, all about the Membership Marketing Flywheel, you're going to be able to learn how to attract a better standard of member who will stay subscribed for longer and engage with your community in a positive way. You're going to learn how to increase the flow of traffic, leads, and sales into your membership business, and content marketing is a huge part of that. You'll find out how to leverage the results and successes that your members are experiencing and turn those into valuable marketing material that will fuel your future growth. You'll also find out how to turn your members into an army of avid promoters who will go out there, spread the word, and basically do your marketing for you. And you'll fully understand and appreciate the bigger picture member journey and how everything that you do after the sale further benefits your marketing strategy. So it's a seriously actionable course. We're going to be doing things like clarifying your ideal member avatar and then using that to refine your marketing and messaging. We're going to show you specific tactics on increasing traffic to your website, how to improve your content strategy to better engage your prospects and generate more email signups, how to improve your sales conversion rate and make your member experience a truly memorable one that will have people falling over themselves to refer you to others, and a lot more. I'm so excited about this course coming out. So this course is being released this coming Friday, which is the 24th of April 2020. Some of you will be listening to this episode way past that date, in which case this course is ready and waiting for you inside the Academy. But if you're listening to this show on the day this episode has gone out, it's been released, then this great new course is coming this week. And the best thing about it is it's part of the Academy membership. It's not an extra, it's not an upsell, it's all included in the regular Academy membership of just $49 per month. So if you are an Academy member, it's exciting times for you. Keep an eye on the dashboard and on your inbox for this course coming out on Friday. If you're not an Academy member, you know what to do about it. Head over to membershipacademy.com and you will get access to this course as part of your membership, along with the huge wealth of other stuff that we have inside the Academy, like our roadmap, our Q&As, our community, and all sorts of resources and good stuff that will help you in your membership journey. So if you want a tried, tested, proven framework for attracting more members, then you're going to want to be an Academy member for the release of our Membership Marketing Flywheel course this coming Friday. All right, that is it from me. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Hopefully you have found it useful. Hopefully you're going to try out some of the tips and tactics that we've covered to really elevate your content marketing strategy and to use it to fuel more traffic and more leads through your funnels. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's show. I'll be back again next week with another installment of the Membership Guys podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out membershipacademy.com. The Membership Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. Whether you're still trying to figure out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Membership Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks, and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement, and advice, the Membership Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage, and grow a successful membership website. Check it out at membershipacademy.com.